again, I'm not a huge fan of conspiracy theories. I'm not a huge fan of pushing conspiracy theories, but sometimes I like making them up just as sort of like a fun intellectual exercise to kind of see if you can make one that sounds plausible. And I kind of thought up of one the other day, and it pertains to when did Donald Trump know that he was going to lose the election? And it pertains to the price of oil, right? Okay, so typically we've all discussed that, presidents typically don't have control of whether or not what the price of oil is. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we all saw that the price of gasoline and the price of oil itself took a nosedive because demand took a nosedive because people mostly were staying in, they weren't traveling. So there was very sharply reduced demand for oil, so the price just sunk so low that you got to a point where at some point during the pandemic that oil companies had to pay people to store the oil because there was such a surplus of oil and nobody was using it. So President Trump made negotiations with OPEC and Russia. And this is a truthful statement. This is the true part of this. This isn't the conspiracy yet. He made this negotiation with OPEC and Russia to artificially reduce output. By artificially reducing output, you would artificially increase the price of oil and increase the price of gasoline so that your domestic oil producers would be able to continue to make money during the pandemic, because otherwise they would be losing money over the ridiculously priced oil prices, right? So where does the conspiracy come in? Well, I am wondering if Donald Trump's campaign had internal polling figures back then, and that showed that he was going to lose this election, that there was no way he was going to win this election. So what did he do? Not only did he negotiate this deal with OPEC and Russia to temporarily cut the production of oil so that the price of gasoline and oil would be artificially inflated to protect in the short term, he made the deal with them last into 2022. He made the deal last well into the next term. Why would he do that if he was going to be the next president, if he was going to win re-election? There's no reason for him to do that if he was going to win re-election, because why would he want the price of gasoline to skyrocket if he's going to be the next president? But if he knew that he wasn't going to be the next president, if he knew that polling data showed that he was not going to win, then he could absolutely sabotage the Biden administration by setting up a deal with OPEC and Russia to make sure that oil prices skyrocketed, and as such gasoline prices skyrocketed, and as such Joe Biden looks bad, because the people are only going to look at the price of gasoline and they're not going to take the time to realize, why is gasoline so high? Oh, it's because Donald Trump made this dumb deal that lasts well into 2022, and then the oil companies and the oil producers were like, oh, well, let's just keep on doing this. So that's the conspiracy theory that I made up, and it seems plausible. It even seems that it could be probable. Maybe he did actually know that he was going to lose. Maybe he did have internal polling showing that there was no way he was going to be able to win the 2020 election, and as such, he wanted to do something to hurt the next president, i.e. Joe Biden, and so he did so by making sure that he manipulated the oil markets in such a way so that Biden would be hurt.